Hi, everyone. We are here to teach you about book publishing and NFTs. We have an expert here, someone that we're working with from Book Vaults, James Factor. And I'm not sure if I said his last name correctly. But it's interesting how the NFT market has, it was just super, super hot last year. It was the thing. And then along with crypto, kind of it all crashed. But we believe that there is still a big, big future for books and NFTs and how to combine your intellectual property along with books and publishing. And NFTs. So I want to bring James on. They started this company and this app. They are located in the UK. Him and his business partner have become experts in this field, and we wanted to bring them to share their knowledge with you. Welcome, James.
Hey, James, how's
Hi,
it going?
Melanie. Hi, Jen. Good, thanks. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Great. Welcome from the UK. Well, we want to dive deep into, NFTs and books, but tell us, like, how did you come up with the idea to start your company, and what exactly is it that you're doing?
Sure. So my background is publishing in the
Mhm.
UK. So I was at a digital publisher for 6 years, dealing with ebooks primarily and some audiobooks. And my co-founder and friend Marius has a background more in tech. So he taught me what he knew about blockchain and NFTs.
Right.
And together we thought there's a real possibility here to help the publishing industry expand, and I think help authors really get a sense of ownership with their work, which is something that has been possibly declining over the last sort of decade or so.
Mhm.
And NFTs and blockchain was a way for them to really get that ownership back, and for readers to also own the digital material that they were purchasing,
Mhm.
and being able to prove that unequivocally on blockchain using blockchain technology, and being able to then sell on that asset if they want to.
Mhm.
So that was something which was the starting point for Book Vaults. We decided to look for funding. We wanted to build out a reader app where readers can enjoy this content directly on the blockchain. And then once
Mhm.
they're done, they can sell it on, or they can just store it for later. So we went about building out that product, and happy to say that we did that, and we're improving it all the time, but we're happy with where it is at the moment.
Yeah, I love that you've got it. I think that's the key thing is living on the blockchain. So like your Kindle reader is an app that you put up, but the book, and you own your intellectual property. So I just want to explain that, take a second to explain that to authors. So when you traditionally publish, they think that they still own their content. And all this stuff is going on with Kanye West about, you really don't own your content, is what we try and tell people. Like he's saying, he signs an agreement, or, celebrity signs an agreement with them, and you're really signing away a lot of your rights. Where when you're independently publishing, you're getting to keep your rights. But the greatest thing I think about the NFTs, two great things, is that you're getting to put utility with it. Like the ones that we're launching with you, we're putting our courses in with our book. So you're buying the course and the book together. But then the person who owns the content, if it resells again, like let's say I bought the book and the course, I've listened to the book, I've listened to the course, and I'm done with it, I can now sell it again, but the author, the owner of the intellectual property, gets a percentage every time it sells. So I really love that you're doing this and putting it together for authors. What do you think some of the hiccups and challenges that you're coming across during this process?
Well, as you said, I mean, that secondary market has been a huge issue in publishing for forever, really. Being
Mhm.
able to monetize the resale of print books in secondhand shops and getting that back to the author. And
Mhm.
with ebooks, there is no chance to resell that at all. So it's a real dead end route once you've bought your ebook from either Amazon or Kobo, or wherever else you get it from. I guess for us, we are pioneering the way in which that secondary royalty makes its way back to the author. So as
Mhm.
confident as we are in mastering that and making sure that it flows correctly, we are still sort of iterating the best way to do that in a smart
Mhm.
contract format. So it's not a hiccup, but it's just something which will take us more time to get to the perfect
Mhm.
solution for how we run that. In terms of the actual product itself, it's been a smooth, not smooth sail, but it's just been improving the entire time. So every time we have a challenge, how do we get MP3 audio content to be embedded? How do we get video to be embedded? How do we best use PDF and EPUB for people to access this content? It's been a challenge, but we've just overcome it each time. So it just takes
Mhm.
new ideas, but we're getting, each time we have a problem, we look to fix it.
I think that's awesome. I think it's really key that you have the resale capability and that it's on the blockchain with NFTs. That smart contract really ties it to the author. A lot of celebrities are doing this now with, like Taylor Swift owning her own music and publishing herself, her music herself. But with NFTs and blockchain, it's just so great that it just follows every time it resells, it will follow the author.
Yeah, exactly. It's a real strength for that self-publishing market in particular. I think they are the first movers in this space because
Mhm.
their IP situation is so much simpler than perhaps an author who is signed to a publishing house. So naturally, they're going to be the ones who look to experiment in this space to start with and to take full advantage of it with how blockchain can trace royalties, and you can set those royalties to happen automatically. So you don't have to chase up sales and you don't have to do that side of it yourself. And
Mhm.
obviously with the biggest platform being Amazon, that platform is going to take between 30 and 65% of your royalty before you get to see any of it. So blockchain and I mean Book Vaults is looking to reduce that massively, but it's a way for authors to get their fair share is what we're trying to portray, and starting with self-published authors and then looking at authors who are signed up to bigger labels to go ahead and do their next book or do a previous book or speak to their publisher about how they can adapt this, because there's room for this technology to be there alongside audio and print and ebook at the same time.
And I think that should be clear. Like, you don't have to give up one to have the other. Like, you can still publish your book on Amazon on all the formats, audiobook, hardbook, hardback, paperback, and ebook, and still have an NFT and put some utility with it and make it like a different bundle that you're offering. Or if you don't have a utility, you could still just offer the book there. I kind of equate it to, like at night when I can't sleep, I'm bopping from TikTok to Instagram to YouTube, and you're consuming content in different ways and seeing it on different platforms. And even though some of it might be repetitive, you're getting different types of clips with it. So people are consuming it in different ways. NFTs are still relatively new. Explain how you made it easy to purchase. It's available on OpenSea. For people who don't know what that is, it's kind of like the eBay of where you buy NFTs. It's like the eBay of NFTs. But you made it really simple for someone to buy because, a lot of people don't understand having their wallet and all of that. Walk us through the purchasing process.
Yeah, sure. So we want it to be accessible to traditional publishing readers as well as crypto natives who know how to do all of this. So we wanted to make sure that someone who didn't know what crypto or what a wallet even was could still enjoy NFT books. And with our
Mm-hmm.
process, when you come to the site, when you sign up to Book Vaults, we will create that wallet for you. So we take out that
Mm-hmm.
tricky step. You just have to put in your login details, create a password, remember the passcode, and then you're set up with your NFT books to go. And on the
Mm-hmm.
purchasing side of things, we wanted to make sure that, like I said, you don't need crypto to buy this. So
Mm-hmm.
we have an e-commerce page on our site. You can just pay using card or PayPal as you would do for any other sort of asset. And we do that conversion for you and put the book into your wallet as well. So we really wanted it to be, publisher friendly, because we see that industry growing into this space quickly.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first step? Is to download your app, Book Bolts, on the App Store or on the Google Play Store?
Yeah, the first step. So for crypto, for NFT buyers, they can go on OpenSea and buy the NFT straight
Mhm.
away and have it in their wallet that they usually would use for other NFT purchases. The issue is they won't be able to actually consume that content until they download our Reader app. So everyone has to get the Reader app at some point. The way that we accommodate non-crypto natives is to say, sign up for this first, and then we drop in a free NFT version of Frankenstein for them to get to grips with how the app runs.
Mhm.
It has bonus content with that book as well, so they know how to access bonus introduction, a PDF. There's
Mhm.
audio content there, so they're getting to grips with it. And then when we start to bring out more books in the future, as you know, with Elite, we'll bring out those books pretty soon. We will then be able to just they'll know how to do that because of the process we put in place before.
Awesome. Yeah, I did that. I did a technical run, I guess you could call it. Downloaded the BookVolts app and signed up and got my free copy of Frankenstein. It was really cool to see and how easy it was to use the app and to be able to read the book. It was really simple.
Yeah, we're building out Pride and Prejudice as our next sort of launch, and we're hoping to have video content within that and audio. So we keep developing new parts. And just to say, I mean, I think it's hard for your listeners that it might not sound like that's that impressive, and I guess it's kind of hard to explain how long it's taken for us to get to this stage. And you know, my co-founder Marius has worked for a year on this, trying with the development team, trying to make this possible to happen all on chain, which is something that is not simple. You normally have to download this separately, and therefore that's a big issue, because the whole appeal of blockchain is that it's secure and that this digital content can't be pirated or passed off without the NFT changing hands. So it has to have a legitimate transaction sale or transaction. So if you can't do that on chain, you can't protect the product as much. So that was our priority, was to build this out. Yeah.
And my question is, how does the author get their royalties? You know, when we publish an author, we make sure their account is set up under their name, their bank account. So it goes right from Amazon or Ingram right to their bank account, where other publishers are publishing through their own accounts. And then they get the money, the publisher gets the money, and then it's going to the author. And we like the author to be in control. We don't want to be the middleman between the money. So how does it work for, you know, it's on the blockchain, it's set up, you know, obviously BookVolts gets a small percent to do the work and do all that. And then, you know, so how does that part work? Where does the money go and how does it filter through?
Yeah, sure. So agreed. You know, BookVolts doesn't want to be the middle person either in this, but it is a very new process. It's a new stage. Currently, we are the ones who handle the sale and the royalty, and we then make that transaction to the author's wallet manually at the moment, just because whilst we have sorry, am I back in there?
It says, yeah, you said we're doing it manually at the moment.
Correct. Yes. So manually at the moment, just whilst we make sure the tech side of it runs smoothly, and that we can do this for the next sort of 2-3 months. And then our intention is to open up our minting platform to authors so they can do this all themselves directly. And we would be there purely as a assistance to those uploads. And then they'll be able to set their royalty terms, and they can also set it with other creators and publishers if they want to. So you can have multiple splits on the sale, and then they will be able to run that themselves in the future. That's
great. So that makes me feel good. So then they know, even like if they have an agreement with you, the contract's getting set up where, you know, or with us, that everyone's getting their percentage, and then the blockchain makes sure that that happens.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, at the moment, we're still having PDF signed paper contracts going through, but in the future, what we hope is that it will just be embedded in the smart contract online. So there's no need for any kind of paper contract. It's all there on the blockchain. It saves so much time, and it gives authors freedom and transparency to see that that's happening. So it's a great invention, I think, for publishing when it gets into the mainstream.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Melanie. So why would someone want to buy, like say our book is releasing today as an NFT, why would they buy the book as an NFT instead of just going to Amazon and buying the ebook or the paperback?
Well, first of all, because we married our course or courses, we have one NFT that has 2 courses, which is really how to write your book and then how to become a bestseller, which is really our secret sauce. So you're getting this special value and special price that we put with the NFT for that. And then you get a special graphic image with it. And then they can resell the book for money and it lives on the blockchain. So it's verified and it's something they can have in their wallet. So what's becoming in the future, as was happening like last year with NFTs, people can go in and see what you've purchased. So they're like, oh, look, they've got this, this, and this. And part of it is kind of swag in a way. And I love that it's really the future of what's happening. And so to get your feet wet in the future, it's like, do I want to stay with my flip phone or should I learn how to get an iPhone when they first came out, right? So you're changing over and learning that new technology and doing it. And you're getting this really one-time special price that we're offering this because, we want to experiment in this field of technology and learn how to do that. So I think that's a big thing. This is really a special offer for us. And you're getting this education and getting your feet wet in the NFT space.
Yeah. I also think, books, we talk about books, and I'm sure, James, you tell this to your clients too, that a book will last forever. Once you've written a book and you publish it, it's published forever. But when you think about it, we don't know the future of Amazon, and that's where most of our books are published. Of course, some people will use, a different distributor like Ingram Spark or Lulu or any of those other distributors. But we don't know what's going to happen to those companies and what will happen to our books if those companies go away, right? Or if they change or evolve, right? Everything changes and evolves. So if those go away, where will our book live? So I love that the NFT and the blockchain technology can have another place for our content to live.
Yeah, absolutely. It's security on 2 levels. It's that inability for someone to download or pirate the material or try to steal it. But it's also, like you said, Jen, you're securing yourself against what might happen in the future to the state of digital publishing. And, same with Book Vault, same with any of these companies that may come up in the future. If you have the NFT in your wallet, you can go to any provider you want in the future if they do a better job with how this content can be consumed, which I think that's really empowering the reader more than anything, because then the reader will have constant choice between what outlet they use. I mean, at the moment, Amazon it's good for, commercial reading, for mass consumption of these books, but you don't really have another choice if you want to try and get to as large an audience as they can do. Whereas with blockchain in the future, you're hoping there will be a multitude of options for you and that everyone can see the product because of the transparency that's there.
We had an author who's published by a traditional publisher and was putting a new book out, but had some older books, and they stopped printing her older books. So even though the content is really valuable, the books are really out of print, and they've decided it's not worth their time and effort and energy to print the books because they're not doing print on demand with Amazon. They're doing it the old school traditional way, which is what a lot of traditional publishers still do. And we've had multiple, I swear, like every week, there's an author who calls us. Their publisher either went out of business, whether it was traditional or self-publishing, and they didn't do print on demand, and their book is out of print, or they don't have control of their content. So here, when you do, I could see where NFTs may become, 10 years from now, the way to to do all publishing, because you can always list more. You can do a revision of the book. You can update the book. It's never going to go out of print. Again, you're not at the whim of anybody. We even had some books, for whatever reason, of our own books that Amazon decided just to take off. Hey, we're canceling these books on Amazon. And just think of all the accounts that are going on now between Twitter, you're getting canceled. People are getting knocked off of Instagram or Facebook. Sometimes you don't even know why. My son had like 4 Twitter accounts that were just basic accounts and they just took them off. So you don't know, you don't have control. You're at the whim of these big giants, where if you're an NFT, you're not going to get knocked off. Your book and your content is always going to be there.
Right.
And your voice is always going to be there. There's no big, big person behind that can say, we decided that your voice is not politically correct anymore. I wanted to talk about, how do you think people should market their NFT? Because it's like, okay, great. When I publish my book on Amazon, they're promoting it and doing a promotion. What do you think the best way to do it? I mean, when it first started out, you had to do a Discord and have this community and do all this stuff, and it was a lot of work. So what are your suggestions on that?
Well, for now, I think we've partnered with authors that have a fan base that they can already have a dialogue with. And these authors are very savvy at self-promoting themselves already, because they are self-published and they know how to market themselves. So what we've done is we've said, well, this NFT edition, I would not mention the NFT aspect of this at all, really, until it's necessary to do so, even until someone asks about how the tech works. I would focus more on what's the outcome of this? How does this look? What's the selling point? And for me, it's that it's just a digital first edition that's actually how we call them at Book Vaults, because we feel that actually captures what is special about the tech. And in the same way that you would have, a hardback edition before your main print run, or you have print first editions of famous books, this is just a digital first edition. It's unique. You can trace each one. And for fans of the author, that is something special, I think, particularly if you include within that edition material that isn't available elsewhere. And so the author, all they have to do is say, this isn't going to be available in print or in ebook or audio. You have to come here to get X, Y, and Z. So it's about selling the X, Y, and Z aspect more than selling the NFT aspect as the kind of the glitzy, buzzword. I mean, it's not as glitzy as it was last year, but that's what people were doing. And we're trying to push beyond that to say there's a real utility to this. What is the utility? Stress that to your fans first. Try and show them what you've got. If it's artwork, if it's a short story, if it's even the new chapter of a new book coming up. So if someone gets a sneak peek of the next book, just anything that makes it exclusive to the owner is going to make it special. So that's what we encourage our authors to do.
Yeah, that's what we did. So we have How to Write Your Story and Leave a Legacy book as sold as an NFT through Book Vaults today. And, today's our launch day. But this book comes with those 2 training courses, digital training courses, which if you just go to bookwritingfastpass.com or bestsellersolutions.com, you're going to pay $1,300, which is our sale price. It's normally $4,000 for both courses. And, you're going to pay $1,300 for those courses, when today you can get both courses by just going and buying the NFT. So not only are you getting that NFT and getting to read the book on Book Vaults app, but you're also getting the course. So I just love that utility comes with it, and that there's so much value to it, and that it even has resale value, right? Because we'll probably up the price of that course more and more, and someone could go through the whole course and then resell it and make a little money for them, and plus we still get the money for us. So I love that.
What's the price of the NFT? You didn't tell us the what we're selling it for.
Oh yeah, what we're selling the NFT for?
Yes, with both the courses.
I think we have it. Let me just pull it up, make sure I don't say the wrong price, because we were playing around with prices. Let's see, we have it. Oh, I have to click on.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'm going to ask James.
We went lower than, here, I'll just tell you real quick. We went lower than we originally were saying. So we were saying $200, but because we're doing the launch, it's only $100. So you're getting, I don't know what percentage that is, a ton of money from $4,000 to $100. So really great deal on this NFT. This is better than Cyber Monday.
So I wanted to ask you, James, what do you suggest for utility? Like, you gave us some ideas. Is there anything you're seeing that is trending that maybe is stronger than other things? Like, like Gary Vee tied an event to his, along with some other things. Some people are but then I feel like, oh gosh, that's a limited thing when you try and resell it. If you're only doing so many events or you're not doing it anymore, is it courses? Is it, like you said, maybe a chapter of a book? Is it video? And I love that you're able to do videos and things now. What do you think, like if you could have anything as a utility, what would you say this would be like the most killer thing to have as utility?
I think looking at how the general trend, I think, of fiction and nonfiction being consumed is moving, for better or for worse, further and further away from the written word, actually. And so storytelling as a medium is starting to evolve quite quickly with book talk, with younger readers getting into publishing or reading because of
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah.
the
I lost him
technology.
again.
I think, sorry, I think I'm.
It's all good,
I don't know if I'm the
internet
only
all
one
the way
live.
from UK.
Oh, he's frozen there. But I like that he's saying, what is the next generation? Because really NFTs, I think, are for the younger generation. Some people over 40 understand it, like us. Jen and I are over 40. But really the younger generation, I think like 20s are the ones that have really been buying it. And I think there's a huge market in this for textbooks. I mean, I would love to see college textbooks, high school textbooks done as NFTs. And then, the school could be set up to getting royalties on the resale of some of these, which would be another great profit center for them. I think that would be amazing to be able to do that. There's James. I think he's back.
Yeah.
You were talking about what's trending for the utility, and we're talking about the younger audience.
Yeah, and I heard you mention, I think I caught textbook and academic publishing, and I think that's a huge potential for this technology, I think, to save on printing new editions of a textbook every year. You can update the tech as well, which is something I don't think we've spoken much about. You can add courses, you can add content to the NFT edition as it's sitting in your wallet, so you can constantly improve upon what you've already got. And I think just on education and academic work, I think the interaction between the teacher and the student can be really utilized with the tech, because you can include, for example, a top essay in a set can be put onto the NFT edition, and then that can be shared with the rest of the class, and people can comment on it interactively in this space. So it becomes a kind of a community sort of talk room as well as just a book. So that's one utility, I think, is having these discussion channels available with the written word. But I think I was talking earlier, before I got cut off, sorry, about sort of multimedia storytelling going forward, younger people coming through. And I think that's going to be a big part of this, is having the author involved somehow in commenting on the written words, whether that's in an audio segment, in a Zoom link where they come on, at a certain time every year perhaps, or if they've just got a video recording that's special for the fan. So unpacking an author's work, I think, is really exciting, and having different mediums available all in one place is what's going to be the winner going forward.
So I want to clarify something that you said about adding content. So let's say you've sold your NFT, you've made 100 of them and they've all sold. You can go back, you're saying you can go back and you can add something to an NFT that's already been sold or sold out. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. If you want that to happen, so you can choose to not allow the provider to update your NFT once it's been sold. But if you do allow it, then book vaults will have control over putting new material in. They can't take material away, so that what you have is completely untouched by any other service or provider. But they can add things in if you want that to happen. So what we're hoping to become in the future is essentially a white label service for universities, for publishing houses, for whoever, even for authors directly, where they will have the control to then update their NFT editions with whatever they're working on at the time. So we're actually working on a project at the moment where we're having the estate, as they find new material and as they do interviews about their book that they're working on, they can update the NFT with all of that. So it's like a live discussion.
Wow.
Yeah, so you could do a relaunch every year, or add, like you said, just a Zoom link or something to meet.
You could keep adding stuff to make it, to keep people engaged with that, and if you want the value of it to go up, an author could just announce anything they want, and it can go on to this edition, and that scarcity obviously leads to a rise in the value of it.
Yeah, well, that also creates demand. So those who own the NFT, maybe they are done with all the content that they've consumed and they're ready to sell it. So then, that relaunch with the new utility added, they could resell that because they're finished with that, or maybe they'll keep it because it's the new utility. It just creates demand. I like that.
Well, and I like that from a marketing perspective. If the author is wanting to do that and they know they're going to have additional content, additional books, they can put in the wording or the description that they'll have periodical bonuses. Periodically they'll add different bonus material content or special offers or event tickets or whatever they think they're going to have in the future. So they know when they're buying it, it's not just this and that's done. Right. So I love that. I'm going to present that to our authors, that they know that they can do that with the book, that you can update it. Cause it's like, it's pretty sexy. I think that you can do that. It's not a one and done, but you can continue to add videos. I love the idea about, hey, people are doing interviews. You're uploading them to YouTube and different places, but you can add them. And is there a limit of how much content you can put with it?
Not that I'm aware of, no. Marius might come on later and say that that's not right, but as far as I'm aware, it's just about developing the tech to become, smart enough to do that. So it will take, in terms of the size of the files, I guess that theoretically there is a limit to what could be taken on our reading app at the moment, but then we can keep improving that and generating it. And so those updates theoretically can just keep going. Yeah.
That's amazing. What do you think about the future of NFTs? I mean, right now we're kind of in a slump, an NFT crypto slump. Looking for maybe a year from now to 5 years from now, how do you think it's going to trend?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we are definitely in a crypto slump for sure, and NFTs get dragged down with that name for most people because they associate the two so strongly together. But I think there's an important distinction between them, and I think that for various cryptocurrencies that come and go, I think the technology that underpins what's happening with this is going to run the course. And I think everyone in this space believes that really strongly. And when they see things happen with, FTX recently and the downfall of a big company like that, they just think, let's try and get these people out the way now. And so people can focus on what's really valuable later, just as the dot-com bubble had a vast majority of the companies and setups turned out to just be nothing really behind it. You could say the same for what's happening now, I think. And I think we are turning that corner into something where people are demanding more utility from this technology. And so you see, I think, with big Web2 companies moving into the space with Nike, with Reddit, Instagram have just announced their NFT marketplace, which is very exciting. I think you can see that the serious players in big industry know that this is going to be the future. Publishing specifically is always interesting because it is, I think, a more safe industry, and it does take longer for things to catch on if they do. I think independent publishers that we've spoken to are so enthusiastic about this that it's only a matter of time before a project really draws attention from the rest of the industry. And when that happens, it will be hard to ignore this new format. And I think because it blends so seamlessly with what's already in place in publishing, it would seem like an odd decision to not take it up once the perception of it has cleaned, has changed. And I think it will embed itself within the industry and potentially even replace ebook as it currently is. I think it's once publishers and authors decide upon its utility, if that's what's the future of digital publishing, then the ebook will just be sort of left behind. And buyers will just have to get used to this new format across the board. So that's, an optimistic outlook from my perspective on what would happen, but I don't see why it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. I like that. So I want to remind everybody, our NFT book, How to Write Your Story and Leave a Life Legacy, is available today. It's an incredible book because it has a bunch of prompts in it, but it's married with the utility of our book writing fast pass, which is step-by-step how to write your book and all the inside information. Like, it goes much deeper than the book. And then it also has, how to make a bestseller solutions. And again, this is like a $4,000 value. And Jen double checked the price. I guess we're selling it for $100. So this is
for our launch week.
Just for the launch week, and then the price will go up. So so jump over there. The links are going to be in here somewhere. I'm sure Jen's putting the links in there. It's powered by Book Vaults. So they are the back-end technology that's running it for us. And we're offering this solution to our authors as well, which we're launching a book doing that this coming week. For an author, Dre Evans, his book is coming out on Amazon in all formats, but he's also offering a digital version. So if you're looking to do this and expand and continue to have royalties after your book sells on the resale market and be on the top of the technology forefront, I think this is the way for you to go. I love how James put it, that it is your digital first edition. So this is, you're saying, oh yeah, it's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audio. And I have a digital first edition that's married with only this place that you can get these special things that are included with this. You're not going to get this anywhere else. So it gives you that FOMO, right? Of its exclusivity right there with the NFT. And if you'd like to learn more, we're happy to set up an appointment with you. You can go to our author submission page on Elite Online Publishing and set up a call with us where we can dive deep in to see if this is the right solution for you and you fit our criteria to work with, to do an NFT launch as well as a book launch with you. James, thanks so much for coming today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I didn't ask, by the way, how your Thanksgivings were last week.
They were awesome.
They were wonderful. Ate way too much, but it was great.
Yeah, we try to replicate it here in the UK now as well, just on Thursdays. So.
Oh, do you? I didn't know that.
Just have a few bits and pieces, turkey, that kind of thing. It's just there's Americans over here as well who get it to spread. So yeah, it was a nice time. But I'm glad you had a good holiday last week.
Yeah, I think, it stands for when the Pilgrims came here, but I think overall it's a nice holiday just to celebrate worldwide, just to be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love that too. Well, thanks so much, James, for coming, and we look forward to publishing more books with Book Vaults as NFTs, as we have another one coming out next week and another launch for our other story starter coming out as well in the future.
In January, yeah. All right. Thank you, James. Thanks, everyone. And again, make sure you go to the link in the chat here and to check out the NFT. Even if you're not going to buy it, just look at it and check it out and hit the click the buy button so you can see how it all works, and go to OpenSea and just educate yourself is, I think, what we're wanting people to do. We're always trying to be innovative. So just go and check it out. We encourage you to. And of course, go to our website and you'll see more information there about NFTs. And we'll have this recording up that you can refer back to. So we'll see you next time. Have a great week, everybody.
See you next time. Enjoy the artwork. We didn't get into the artwork, so check out the artwork. Talk to you soon.